30 years ago, our first guests introduced us to Bill and Ted. Gosh, it's been 30 years. Who were trying to pass their history class and write a song that would save the world. Now they've reunited for a third film called Bill and Ted Face the Music, which is currently available on demand and on Blu-ray. Here are Keanu Reeves and Alex Winter. Yeah! Welcome to the show. Come on. This is so cool to have you both here. This is awesome.
Thank you, sir.
People have been waiting for this movie for so long. First, it was Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, then Bogus Journey, Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, which ended with them having to write the most important song in history. Where does this one pick up?
Well, we haven't written the song yet, Jimmy.
Yeah, we kind of blew it.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, so it's like all of those years later, decades later, they're still trying to write the song, but they haven't written the song yet, and that's put some pressures on their wives, the family, their daughters. And then at the same time, the future comes back and has a little dinger for us.
Yeah, they're not happy with us in the future anymore. We've lost our cred.
Wow.
And so they've asked us, they've said, like, now it's you have to write the song in order to save the world and all of reality as we know it. by a certain moment in a certain location.
Yeah. Keanu's gotten very good at that zoom close-up, by the way.
Yeah, I can't even do that. Oh, it's fantastic. You nailed it. I thought it was so fun and so cool. Kristen Shaw was great. How did it feel for you guys to get into the characters again? Do you remember the day that you're like officially like, we gotta do the characters? I think I'm kind of getting into it now.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, it took a long time to get the film made. Chris Matheson and Ed Solomon wrote a draft. We worked on it for years, worked on getting financing together for years, bringing Dean Pariseau, who's so amazing, on to direct, and Scott Crew who produced. It was a long process, and in that process, rehearsing and doing script work, and never did we actually do the voices.
Yeah, we wouldn't do the voices. We would work on the script, and so we had some script readings, and Dean, the director, would be like, so we'd be like, no.
The writers would be looking at us like, are they going to do it?
They're going to do it. They're gonna...
Yeah. So Keanu came over to my house in New Orleans like pretty much the night before we started shooting. And we were rehearsing, which we would do, and he looked at me as he was about to leave. I was like, what? He's like, you want to just try the characters, before we, shoot at 6 in the morning?
It's just great. I just was so happy to see you guys come back together. Did you guys meet auditioning for this movie, or were you friends before this film?
No, we met on the earlier auditions we met for the first time, and became friends pretty instantaneously. I mean, we both rode motorcycles, so we both walked in with motorcycle helmets, and the auditions went on for months and months, and they kept pairing us off with different people and changing our roles, and we became friends over the arduous Bill and Ted audition gauntlet without assuming we were actually going to be cast.
Wow.
I mean, they did something very unusual where they had different actors, artists, all audition, like 10 people, and 2 would go into a room, then 2 would come out. And then another 2 would go in, and then 1 would come out. And then when we were both playing Bill and Ted, and it was a kind of it was like an audition gladiatorial gauntlet
torture
of Bill
event.
And Ted.
Yes.
I always disliked auditioning. I thought it was the worst part of the whole business. It's so kind of...
Yeah.
It just...
I mean, there's a fun to it, too. Like, Keanu and I actually had fun in the auditions playing the characters. It was funny because a lot of time has gone by. We've forgotten about the early auditions in the specifics of them. And we thought we brought all this stuff to our characters way later once we'd had time to really think about it on a deep level. And then someone showed us our audition, and we literally walked in on day 1 as Bill and Ted. There's no method. It's like,
you just nailed
I've got my shirt tied around my waist.
I got shorts.
He's got shorts and a jacket. We're riffing on. It's the whole thing is literally there on day 1.
It was meant to be.
There you go with that zoom. You nailed it. It's that.
I'm not even going to try to compete with that.
It's that confidence of youth, but I love it. It obviously exploded, became part of not just. I mean, just making a movie is so hard enough. But when the movie is a hit, that's another thing. You're great. But then when it becomes part of pop culture, and people start saying be excellent and doing air guitar and saying San Dimas High School football rules and You must have
The
been.
best. The best.
I know. Do people? I mean, you're probably like, "Don't say that again," and people yelling it to you, and you're like, "Oh my gosh!" But then you became toys, action figures. You were a cartoon. You were a video game. It was pop culture at its most. What was the craziest Bill and Ted thing that you saw? Could it have been the breakfast cereal?
I've got PTSD now.
What? You've got a cereal? Where did you get that?
Dude.
Wow.
Cinnamon oat squares and marshmallow notes. It sounds pretty good, actually.
Yeah, please don't eat that. Please, we care about you.
It's vintage, yeah. I will not
It's
eat
not.
this. But how cool
Yeah.
is that? You were a breakfast cereal.
Yeah. I lived in a weird part of LA for a while, and I remember walking into the grocery store at like 1 a.m. to get like eggs or something, and seeing both of our faces on a cereal, because they never told us anything. Like, they never said, "Oh, on Thursday a cereal will come out." They didn't pay us either, but they didn't tell us any of that stuff. So you would find out about it when everyone else did.
And so you walked into your
walked
deli.
into the store and there in front of you was a Bill and Ted
Yeah.
cereal.
And it was like 1 a.m. I thought it was like,
In the
something
Twilight
flash.
Zone, yeah, Rod Serling's gonna come
Yeah.
out and be like, "Could you imagine? It's space and time." I mean, that is so cool, man. I have to
Yeah.
ask, because I started with comedy. So, George Carlin, what was it like working with him? Were you a fan of his going in? Obviously, you probably were.
Look
but
how he's looking at us.
Yeah.
he's
Deep
like,
respect and admiration.
Deep respect and admiration.
he's like, I'm eating lunch by myself in my trailer by myself today.
Oh, God.
He was, I mean, for both of us, it was such an honor. I mean, we just were such huge fans of his and familiar with his work. And
Yeah.
though he gave us that look, he was acting.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he was really nice to us, right?
He was. He was a much gentler person than you would expect from the kind of the barbed nature of his stand-up, which was, what coming up in our era was it, right? He was a cultural titan. So
Yeah.
we were pretty starstruck, I think, and grateful that he was as sweet to us as he was. And, he was a gentle guy. We would bump into him even after the second movie and out and about. He was always very lovely.
Yeah, I love it when those casts
Yeah.
come together and it's like there's no one else that could do it besides you three.
No,
it's-
amazing.
It just worked out.
On and on and on. I said, and it's on.